In the windswept terrains of Dagestan, where eagles soar high and snowy mountains cast long shadows, live some of the most vaunted MMA warriors of all time. Sitting above all of them is the great Khabib Nurmagomedov. With Khabib's fighting career in the rearview mirror and his role as a coach just beginning, one name emerging from his storied home of Dagestan is Usman Nurmagomedov, Khabib's cousin. Don't get it twisted though. Usman is not just another fighter, he's a part of a lineage that has left an indomitable mark on the MMA world. The Nurmagomedov family and his career so far has been almost a mirrored copy of his beloved cousins. Born into a family of fighters in April of 1998 in Kyzylyurt, Dagestan, where the sport of MMA is not just a career, but a way of life, Usman had MMA running through his veins from an early age. Inspired by his famed cousin, Usman along with his brother Umar took up freestyle wrestling at the young age of 8. After he saw his older brother delve into Thai boxing, Usman followed in his footsteps. The two brothers eventually moved to nearby Makla Chakla in order to refine their skills under the prestigious tutelage of the Nurmagomedov patriarch Abdul Manap, who was a highly respected figure in the MMA community, known for mentoring young fighters and shaping them into champions. Growing up, Usman had not only the family name to uphold, but also the rigorous training, discipline, and values instilled by his elders. Shaped by his family's fighting heritage and the watchful eye of Abdul Manap, Usman began his professional MMA career in 2017 as a member of Russia's Moscow Pankration Federation promotion at the MPF Young Talents Cup. In his first fight, debuting as a featherweight, he was able to secure a first-round victory via an armbar in the first round. Usman had officially arrived on the MMA scene, but some wondered if he would be able to continue the dominance he showed in his debut. Over a year later, in two fights that occurred just 2 weeks apart in December of 2018, the MMA world got their answer. Usman scored a TKO via doctor's stoppage against Dmitry Berezovsky at Battle on Volga 8 and turned around on short notice to defeat Isaiah Mariyama via a TKO at Brave CF 21. Both of these victories, like his debut, came in just the first round. Usman's time on Russian MMA promotions would continue much like his first 3 fights, and by 2020 he found himself the record of 11-0 with only one of his fights going to a decision. Even more impressively, of his 11 victories, only 4 of them had made it past the opening round. Usman had solidified himself as a clear follow-up to Khabib of Dagestani dominance, and along with his brother, were taking up the mantle that Khabib had left behind. He had even made the jump up to lightweight, the division that Khabib ruled during his time in the UFC.
But out here, that'll do it! Khabib Nurmagomedov! Wow! How good is that kid, Kenny? Yeah, he caught him with that lead.
After a second-round TKO of Sviatoslav Shabanov in September of 2020, Usman was offered a contract by American promotion Bellator, considered by many around the world to be the second-best promotion in the world behind the UFC. Usman accepted a multi-fight contract with Bellator, and the hype behind the young Russian truly began. America got their first taste of Usman Nurmagomedov at Bellator 255 in Uncasville, Connecticut in April of 2021 when he faced Mike Hamill. From the start, it was clear that Usman had greatly developed his skills, and he was able to keep a targeted distance from Hamill for the majority of the fight.
Nurmagomedov, but Nurmagomedov very calm out of his corner, meets Nurmagomedov in the center of the ring.
When Hamill was able to close distance, Usman was able to take the fight to the ground, and he never experienced any true danger throughout the 3-round fight. It wasn't over in the first round, but Usman cruised to a unanimous decision.
Usman Nurmagomedov!
Up next for the young fighter was Manny Muro. While his Bellator debut was an overwhelming success, fans were craving an exciting finish out of Usman, and they get just that at Bellator 263 in Inglewood, California. After landing a devastating knee to the body early in the fight, which caused Muro to collapse to the ground, Usman capitalized with numerous hammer fists, prompting the referee to call a stop to the fight just over a minute into the first round.
Right to the liver. You saw that knee strike come up and he went down like he was shot.
Usman returned to the cage in his native land of Moscow, Russia at Bellator 269 in October of 2021, where he faced Patrick Pietiela in a catchweight bout. With Khabib in his corner, Usman once again displayed masterful distance control, utilizing a number of kicks to keep Piatela at bay before securing a takedown and completing a rear naked choke.
Position on the back, this fight's going to be over.
It was another quick first round finish for Nurmagomedov, and it was now clear that Dagestan had another prize fighter to call their own. Following the fight, Usman publicly called for a tougher challenge, and the fight makers at Bellator obliged. At Bellator 283, Usman faced his next test, the American Team Alpha up and corner Chris Gonzalez, who at the time had a professional record of 7-1. Like Usman, Gonzalez had a background in Greco-Roman wrestling, and had even won a silver medal at the 2017 US National Championships. Leading up to the fight, Usman praised Bellator for honouring his request for a step up in competition, and stated that he was excited and prepared to continue to make a statement. And make his statement he did. After some brief back and forth on the feet early in round 1, Usman was able to get a hold of Gonzalez near the cage fence. As he dipped down to try to escape, Nurmagomedov sank in a firm hold of his neck, and the tap came moments later. Usman had quickly disposed of the so-called step up in competition within one round, and made it look nearly effortless. There was no denying it now. Usman Nurmagomedov was ready for a chance at the belt. Standing between him and Bellator lightweight gold was Patricky Pitbull Ferreiro, a Brazilian veteran who had claimed the lightweight belt over Peter Queally at Bellator 270 in Dublin, Ireland in late 2021. Soon after Usman's victory over Chris Gonzalez, the title fight was set to take place in November of 2022 at Bellator 288 in Chicago, with longtime associate Islam Makhachev just coming off claiming the UFC lightweight belt a month earlier. Usman stepped into the center of the cage at the beginning of round 1, determined to become the next in his family to hoist the championship belt. Most MMA fans weren't quite sure what to expect, although Usman did seem to be the overall favourite. However, once the fight began, it was clear that one man was vastly better than the other. Nurmagomedov made easy work out of the Brazilian.
Definitely trying to ratchet up the offense in the meantime. Double jab, and it ends up with Patricky Pitbull on his back again, courtesy of Nurmagomedov.
Usman used his excellent striking and kicks along with his grappling prowess to simply dominate all 5 rounds of the championship fight. By the time the final bell rang, Pitbull was mauled, and Usman was defiant. The judges' scoring confirmed what fans around the world had witnessed, and with a 50-44, 50-45 and 50-44 ruling, Usman Nurmagomedov had improved his record to 16-0 and was the new undisputed Bellator lightweight champion. The belt was in his possession, and now it was up to him to keep it that way. He got his first chance at proving his championship pedigree at Bellator 292, as a part of the Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix, where he faced off with Benson Henderson in the quarter-final. Another proven veteran, Henderson came into the title fight with a professional record of 30-11 and a respected jiu-jitsu background. However, after quickly dropping Henderson with a question mark kick early in the first round, Usman took his back and secured a rear naked choke to solidify his first title defense. At a perfect 6-0 Bellator record and an overall record of 17-0, Usman was quickly joining the heir of his cousin, with many wondering if anyone would be able to stop him inside the cage.
Last one. Dada, salam alaikum.
Brent Primus, a former Bellator lightweight champion, will be the next to take a shot at dethroning the Dagestani at Bellator 300 in October of 2023. Primus began his professional career with an 8-0 record, peaking in his victory over Michael Chandler at Bellator NYC in 2017 to claim the lightweight belt. However, he surrendered his champ status in his very next fight, when Chandler was able to get his revenge. Primus has since gone 4-2 and is coming off a victory over Mansour Barnawi. The fight is certainly tantalizing, but at this point, it's hard to put a bet on anyone matching up against Usman. If Usman is able to defend his belt again at Bellator 300, there will undoubtedly be screams from fans for him to jump ship and join the ranks of the UFC. However, there is very little chance that that will happen. Among the core values of the Nurmagomedov clan is loyalty, and with close friend and associate Islam Makhachev competing in the UFC's lightweight division, it's highly unlikely we will see Usman jump over and potentially fight against him. We saw the same thing happen with Khabib's retirement in 2020, leaving a clear path in the UFC's lightweight division for Islam to follow in. However, with Usman being only 25 years old and Islam being nearly 32, there's a slight chance that an early retirement for Makhachev could tempt Usman into crossing over to sign with Dana White. Regardless of which promotion Usman competes in going forward, his legend is already cemented. While the UFC remains the world class of MMA promotions, Bellator is right behind them in terms of capital, talent, and reach. Being a long-tenured Bellator champion is highly respected, and if his career thus far is any indication of what's in store for Usman Nurmagomedov, we've only just begun to see the brilliance of yet another seemingly unbeatable warrior breed from the mountains of Dagestan. Until next time, don't forget to smash the like button and smash life.